All right, we are live. I'm gonna wait just a little bit if I can get some more people. And okay, so I have said before that other than Inkstitch, I don't know Inkscape all that well, other than Inkstitch, and a lot of the problems that people have trying to do their own embroidery pieces when they do a trace bitmap, and it can be tricky. I have a basically this is an icon for a uh, glass stained glass workshop, and it's done in a PNG. And when you go to do a trace bitmap, it doesn't trace really good, and I'll show you that right now. So we'll go ahead and select the image, do a path, trace bitmap. It's in color, so we're going to select multicolor, and we're going to go down to color. Nope, colors. There we go. And if we just hit OK, hit apply, we go back and hide our original image, you see that the trace isn't great. There's a lot of white out effects, colors don't touch colors, etc. So I'm going to show you how I fix this, and it's not with Inkscape because again I don't know Inkscape real good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete that and that, and then I'm going to load the original image that I just tried to trace. What I'm going to do is just right click. Different operating systems will do different things, but in this particular one I can right click, duplicate here, and now I have a copy of it. I'm going to open that with GIMP, Graphical Image Manipulation Program, also known as GNU Image Manipulation Program. Morning from the UK. Hello, Pippa Shaw. Thank you for joining. Okay, so I'm in GIMP. This should theoretically work in any Photoshop, Paint, something along those lines. What you want to do is you want to fill the fill better. So in here, I would take the paint bucket and get my color that I want, and I'm going to actually, instead of having all these different shades of the same color, I'm going to paint those the same color. I'm going to select that. I'm going to select one of these colors. Threshold is how, if you set this really high, it's going to fill the whole thing, basically. Control Z is your friend, Control Z. So I'm going to start somewhere around 130 and see what that does for me. I'm going to paint. That's still a little too much. So what's going down? 120. Still too much. Come on. 100. That's still a little too much, but we're getting closer. Okay, that looked like a pretty good fill. And I'm just going to fill these all the way around. I'm going to grab that same eyedropper, fill that, and sometimes you can actually hit it twice. Do it again for this one. And you can see this line right here. What we're trying to do is make that line go away. It went away with one tap, but I went ahead and hit twice. And just keep doing that all the way around. And there you can see another one. Right there. Better, better, better. I think I did them all, didn't I? I think I did. Now I'm just going to hit File, Overwrite. It has been saved to that duplicate. And find my duplicate. Should be at the top. And then I'm just going to drag that back into Inkscape. So let's see if this has a better trace. And I actually meant to overpaint the black lines too, and I didn't. We'll see how it goes. So it's selected, path, trace bitmap, hit apply, go back over here, and we'll hide the original image. It's much better. Still has that line there, but it is definitely much better. Much better. So let's cancel. I'm just going to delete that. Delete that. Let's go ahead and bring that back in. I copy back into GIMP. And there was a couple spots that we want to do again. Grab that, and paint. Paint. I think that was it, wasn't it? Oh, let's do our black. Let's do our black line. Now this black line could get tricky. Theoretically, it's painting all of them. You can see right here. I'm actually going to take my pencil tool. We're going to fix that. Go back to bucket. About all the damage I can do, I believe. Okay, let's see what happens now. Let's overwrite again. Close that out. Drag it back in. It is selected. Trace. Hit apply. It's better. This one's fixed. Didn't fix that one. The lines look a lot better. There's another miss. Now, what you can do, since I've gotten this close to it, I'm gonna fix the rest of it using Inkstitch. You can select your nodes tool, and inside your nodes tool, you can actually pull these colors over. Oh, that's the black one. Go with the blue one. And that looks better. And the rest of it, a lot of this can be fixed with the params tools. So right here, I'm actually going to do right here is, that's all the black. I'm going to select all three of those and join them. Nope, didn't work. Am I too far? I might be too far away. Join those two. There we go. And then we'll pull these two together. And now we should be able to join them. Still not join. I've never not had it joined before. Interesting. Okay. We're going to work with it from there anyway. You would use a lighter color for the big shapes, then you could get a good trace bitmap on black. That is true. That is very true. That's a good point. The lighter colors, the darker colors are interfering with the black because it's not different enough for Inkstitch. That is very true. All right. So the black lines are fill stitches. Keep that in mind. Anytime you do a trace bitmap, everything it results, unless you use centerline trace, is a fill. So if I select, actually I need to select the whole thing. Now we need to do a break apart. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that original image because I think we're close enough to work with this. So I'm gonna select the resulting trace, go into extensions, Inkstitch, tools fill, break apart fill objects. We're gonna get a lot. Okay, that's not too bad. But theoretically, everything here is now its own thing. So that's its own all the way around each one of these. Cool, cool. Now, is the black line all one thing? It is. So that means that I'm gonna have to do a fill the satin, which I'm not great at, but we'll get there. All right, so everything else that's a fill, you can do params on for fill parameters. Everything there. And we want this to look kind of stained glass. So we could actually do different textures, different fill patterns on each one to make it look. I think the moon would be pretty cool to do a contour on. Go to params on the moon. I'm going to turn off the fill underlay. I'm going to turn off the underpath. I'm going to go to contour fill. I think that would make a really neat fill for the moon. That is very cool. Yeah. Each one of those light blues around the outside might look good as a contour as well. And let's go ahead and do that because we can always change it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this fill color right here. And it's been a minute since I've done this, but see, select same. That's the one we want. Select same, fill color. Awesome. They're right there next to each other. And then right click and group. So now each one of these around the outside are the same color. You can convert your black fill to a centerline stroke first. I think I've seen that. I've seen that, and I've not actually ever done that. Yeah. I'll get you to help me on that. We'll do it that way. I like it. Convert your black fill to a centerline stroke first. That sounds awesome. All right, I want to see what these look like when I do centerline on these two. So again, turn off underlay, underpath, fill to a contour fill. That's just pleasing to watch it do that, I'm telling you. So now we have outline, the outer colors, and the moon. Those are set as center line. I mean, as contour fill. All right. So this one is our black line. What is it to Inkstitch, tool stroke, fill to stroke? Fill to stroke. I have seen that, and I have actually never used that before. Inkstitch, tool stroke, fill to stroke. So stroke, fill to stroke. Oh, that is gorgeous. That is lovely. Look at that. That is awesome. We got to extend this one down a little bit. Ooh, that is ugly. All right, we're going to path, simplify. Might do it again, path, simplify one more time. And if it, yeah, that's good. We'll drag this one out to get to there. And bendy that up. That is rough looking. So I'm going to pass simplify again. How many am I getting in that? A lot. Those are rough too. So I know one way we can handle this. Grab all of them and do this tool right here, making them straight. And then I have to do simplify first. Okay, that's better. And do them too. Oh, look there, them too. I can't really make them straight, can I? Oops, I didn't mean to hit that button. I meant to hit that button. Ah. Do a simplify. That's better. Do you need to highlight it before you simplify? When you highlight it, I don't. I don't think so, because if I just do that right there and I do simplify, as far as I know, it's going to simplify all of it. And we'll just go ahead and do a test piece. If I do, with that selected, if I do path, simplify, you see the result there. It gets rid of just about everything. I'm going to undo, and I'm going to select a few. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it still gets rid of the same. So it doesn't, you don't have to highlight it. You can't, it doesn't look like you can specify which ones you simplify. It's just going to simplify that entire object. All right, I like it. So, is that, oh, what is my stroke now? That one? It is that one. So path 15 center line is what was converted all into stroke. So that's the one I'm going to set a width. Let's see what a 3. Ooh, that's way too. 1.5. I don't want to go down too far. We want a clean satin. That's 1.2. What is my size here? Okay, I can make that entire thing a little bigger. And I think I will. Because I can make it a little bit bigger. Like a pocket, I can go for a 4. That's a slightly little over 4 width. Grab my measure tool. That column is now about a 1.4. That's a good one. That'll work. And let's select that path 15 center line. And then go extensions, Inkstitch. You know what? Let's do it this way. Stroke to satin. Doing a lot of thinking on that one. It's struggling on that one. I might be fixing to lose my Inkscape. Happens every now and then. Come on. Well, the computer is not lagging. Inkscape certainly is. There it goes. So one of the reasons I'm letting it tell me it's not responding and hopefully crash out, because it should create a recovery file for me to work on. This is why you should save often, which I don't do often enough. It says simplification factor. You can adjust an Inkscape preference also if you find the simplification is too much. I'm assuming by that you can tell it to simplify a little less or a little more in the preferences, Inkscape preferences. I have to kill it. Oh, I'm gonna have to do a hard kill it. Oh, there we go. All right. Telling me what crashed. It's a little bit smaller than I can read. Yep, go ahead. All right, so if it gave me a backup, I hope I don't have to do all that again. That should be it. That should be my backup. Yep. Full beans. Let's see if we can crash it again. Let's go straight into it. Yeah. Stroke to satin. That's what I want. It's having a hard time on that operation. So what I'll do is, if I have to recover again, I know there's a lot of different parts underneath that folder right there. I'll just start hitting them just like one at a time. There might be something in there that's not a stroke, and it's causing it to have issues. All right, let's go ahead and kill it. Kill it dead. Okay, file open recent. Let's open that back up. Let's have a look at that folder right there. Yep, I don't know. Okay, so let's do a couple of individuals. Or one. So I'm going to press the control button while I'm clicking one of these. That'll let me select one at a time. And then just do a stroke satin. That one worked. Do it again. So I'm going to push shift. Nope. It should be shift. Not going to let me select more than one. Okay, let's go here. Are they in order? They are not in order. Of course not. Oh, that is that whole thing. Oh, look at there. Did you see that? That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem right there. That was part of the problem. What do they call that? Crosses itself. When you're doing a fill and it's complaining about that, it'll say something about node crossing itself. That was part of the problem. All right, let's go back. I might be able to do them all now. All right, let's go back to that path. We're going to troubleshoot because it might tell us if there is another one. It says everything's valid, so we're going to try everything else. They're just so all over the place, man. And I'll show you how to, at least one way you can fix that. I'll show you here shortly. Yep, I am taking my chances here. All right, I'm going to stop there. Let's go ahead and see if they will convert. Sorry, I was holding the control key while I was selecting those individuals. Looks like I might still have a problem in there. And it might just be just too many nodes. We'll try that. Okay. We'll just go ahead and simplify all those. Okay, I figured it would do that. That's fine, because I didn't let it crash out. But what I am going to do, I'm going to select, Nodes tool, select. Okay, so Papa Shaw, this is the difference between holding the control button or holding the shift key. On your layers and objects, if you hold down the control key, you can select individual ones. If you hold down the shift key, it's going to select everything from the last click you did to the current click, just like that. So that would be the difference between holding the control key and the shift key. All right, so in this case, I'm actually going to hold the shift key, select everything that's to do with that black line, and then go path, simplify, and you got to be careful with that. Seriously, because if it, like Gus was talking about, if you find the simplification is too much, if it can be the case to where you get too much simplification and you end up with something like this, because it took out too many nodes, and what it does, it'll take out nodes, and again right here, it's a little bit more than we want. And what it'll do is it'll remove all the nodes that it doesn't think is necessary, and the nodes that are left behind will end up the kind of node that has like make nodes smooth, and it's curving it around instead of it's curving it around to pretend that all those nodes are still there. So that's what happens if you oversimplify. And this one oversimplified a little bit. I am thinking about working with it because it's not terrible. Like that right there. If I was going to try to work with it, I would throw another node in there and then make it a square node. Like that. It don't look right. Okay, that's better. So it might be better. Let's go ahead and see if I crash out again before I do any more with this. And if I do crash out, then I'll just have to do each one of them one at a time. What is it? Satin, stroke to satin. Come on. There's still something amiss in there. Ah, that is annoying. At least I have an easy kill. I have an easy kill button. All right, load it up again. Open recent new document. All right. So I'm just going to leave those alone for the moment. I've got the moon and the outers. I have them contour filled. Trying to think of I think the diamond would be should be contoured also. Oh, I have an idea. Maybe. Let's go ahead and make that one, that one, that one. So that one, that one, that one. Yes. We're gonna do a params to all three of these. I mean 4 of these. And then we're gonna make those a contour. So I'm gonna kill the underlay, underfill, underpath, contour, fill. Because they're diamonds. I think they represent diamonds at least. So do that. And then on this one, I'm not good with my angles, so I'm going to try my best. Let's do a params. Oh, why I ended up wrong thing right here. Why I ended up with caps. We'll do params. I want that one to be this way. So what is that? Minus 45? Oh, wrong thing. Angle. Minus 45. Yep, that's the one. I'm going to ease up on some of that underlay though. I want my row spacing to be 1. Just to make the a little bit less dense. But still have the same coverage. Let's go 1.5. That's what I'm looking for. Which means this one should be a 45. Angle line of stitch, 45. And make the same, 1.5. Hit apply and quit. Now this is going to be the same as that one, right? That would be 45. Could have done those at the same time, I guess. And that would make that one a minus 45. And 1.5. Hit apply and quit. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this. This is basically finished except for that satin stitch issue that we're having. We're going to save this and then we're going to work out the problems with the satin stitch. So let's go ahead and let's hide that black line. And then we'll go ahead and look at everything else in a preview. In the sim. Oh, I didn't realize I had the background. We can remove that background. Everything else looks pretty good. Yes. Yes. Okay. And we can change that background color. That one. Just so. Okay, that didn't do what I thought it did. But looks pretty good. Still got to figure out the satin stitch problem. Background. That's the background. I want that background to go away. So we're just going to delete the background. Okay. Now, I was breaking my own rules a little bit by save often. So now we're going to start saving because we got to figure out what's wrong with that satin stitch convert. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a save as. I'm going to do a save as. We're going to save it as. Let's go S Moon Pocket. So now I have an actual saved file. Now we can start working on these. I'm going to have to do them like one at a time, just like I said. That is crazy. So, stroke to satin. Stroke to satin. And we're just going to go around the port like we were doing. That's how we're going to have to do it, I guess. Once I get all the way around, we're going to save. Oh, that was neat. So you can tell that some of these are not well, there was only one. There was one spoke that wasn't independent. We could have made it independent. Yes. And I still need to fix that again. Yeah, okay. So, right now, I'm going to save. Let's do another one. I'm pushing control, by the way, to make sure that I select only one object at a time. Pressing control and click. If I get all the way around this thing, if I get done doing it this way, that is going to be weird. Why did it mess up? Why did it keep locking up? And it could be that I was just all done in Python, right? Python's not the fastest language. Maybe I just won't give it enough time. It is possible. Hold on. Sorry about that. Toddlers. I'm back. I just continue along. Okay, we're almost done. And it does look like it's going to finish out. So I don't think there was an issue other than maybe I just wasn't giving it enough time. 100% possible. Decent machine too. I mean, computer's not a slouch. Alrighty. That's it. We have a finished, well, almost finished product. All right, now let's do a preview. Now that we have the satins going, should come pretty good. Love the moon. I love that. So I'm gonna do we got to do a couple minor things, but we're gonna do I'm stitch this out during the week, and then I'll show it to you next Sunday. Let's do a proper preview, which is stitch plan preview. Beside the canvas, doesn't matter, you can move it around. Needle points I don't want. None of this I don't want. Realistic view should be fine. Let's hit apply. I have a feeling I should have rebooted my computer before I started this. A funny feeling. Yeah, I don't know what's slowing it down. Okay. And it could be a more complicated design than I'm giving it credit for, but that looks good. Oh. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Love it. I'm not in love with the angle isn't right. These angles aren't what I wanted. Maybe I wanted 90s. I love the moon and the outside, around the outside though. Okay, let me change these. Maybe I wanted 90. What's that one? 20, 16. Get both of those. Grams. Yeah, that was Gus says check the order of the satin. They may need reorganizing. They do, and that was one of the things I was alluding to by saying that it's almost finished, and they definitely need to be rearranged because they are all over the place for sure. Let me try my different. Might be 90 that I'm thinking of. Nope, it's not 90. It's got to be 45. I don't know. I'm not good with angles. I will just say it. Yes. About the satin. I wonder if auto route all of those would work. Probably take my machine 20 minutes right now to figure it all out though. We could try it, and then we can just undo. Let me go ahead and save, just in case. Save often. I'm going to try an auto route. So I'm selected all of the satins. Inkstitch, full satin, auto route satin columns. Don't need jumps. Serve order, no. Keep original path, no. Hit apply. We're going to see what happens. I saved it so I can come right back to here. Oh, it definitely did some stuff. There's a lot of running stitches going on. Look at that. Ooh, boy. Half the satin stitches are running stitches. That's... Okay, let's see what it looks like. I have selected only the auto route because I want to see just what that looks like. Hit simulator. Probably going to slow it down a little bit. I don't hate it. Yeah. Not bad. Certainly better than what it was. It was jumpy, jumpy. Mm-hmm. All right. I don't like the angles, man. I don't know what to do about that. um, go in the direction that I want it to go, even. Or did I go too far? Yeah, I'm going too far. So let's go 40 and see what it looks like. 35. When you don't know your angles, this is what you're left doing, is guessing. And I don't know my angles. 8, 17. Okay. What did I do? 35? I think that's what. Okay, so I'm going to select those. Extensions, Inkstitch, Sim. Try to figure out which way they're going if I like it better. It's better. That's closer to what I was looking for. Okay, so in order of Inkstitch, when you put when you're making Inkstitch design, you put it in the machine, it's going to stitch from the bottom of your layers and objects. It's going to stitch bottom up. So to see what's going to stitch as it stitches, you can click that bottom one. That'll be first. So it looks like my white diamonds are first, and then the moon, and then I'm going to move those up. So moon, top right, top left, bottom left. And then the designs around the outside, and then the satin stitch. One more thing, in that satin stitch, I do want to go back to params. We need to set a pull compensation, just to make sure that the stitching for the fills are going to pull in certain directions away from the stitchings in the satin, which is also going to pull away in certain directions. So we're going to put just a little bit of pull compensation on there. And it also makes a difference what you're stitching it on. If I'm stitching it onto a hat, like a structured hat, structured hats aren't going to pull. So I could actually technically leave this off on a structured hat. If you're doing it on a cotton shirt or something like that, it's definitely going to pull. So if you don't know what you're going to stitch it on, put a small number like a 0.2, and that's reasonable for most things. But it does make a difference on what you are stitching. And I think this one's done. Let's go ahead and do a real live preview again. So stitch plan preview. Hit apply. And of course, everything you do, you should do a test stitch if you're doing it, especially if you're doing it for a project or somebody else. Always do a test stitch to make sure it is what you're looking for. Turn the fan on real quick. Toddlers running around. I got my door shut. It's getting a little warm in here. All right, close that out now. Still don't like those angles, man. One on the bottom left is okay. Top right is okay. I'm not happy with those two at all. So back to those two, which is 20 and 16. So I can see what's going on a little better. I'm going to turn that off. More angle. Maybe. All right, one more time. Pippa says, love the chevron effect on the outside. Yeah, I do too. Could go for a guided fill also. True. That is true. If I'm just not happy with the angle. It's just everything else. I love the moon, the contour on the moon, and the outsides. I could do a meander. I don't think that would, I don't think that would fill enough. Could do guided fill. I could actually really wanted to get fancy. I could do a pattern fill. Not sure what the pattern would be though. I'll be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not actually sure what I want it to look like. I just want it to be different from the contour fills. Circular fill, maybe? Man, I don't know. That's kind of out there. I'd have to make stitching a little bit tighter. It's definitely out there. Kind of an out there project. Let's see what it looks like. You know what? Let's just see what it looks like. So 18, 20, and 17. That is very neat to watch. I'll admit it. They look almost like rose petal designs, doesn't it? And I'm going for a stained glass look, so circular fill might do it. So Gus, have you ever had your Inkscape lock up on doing all the satins all at once like that? Just curious. I don't I honestly don't think I ever have. Unless there was an issue, but they all did it one at a time, so there couldn't have been an issue. It's, that's not bad. I've definitely seen glass pieces that have designs like that, so I might stitch that out real world stitching to see what it looks like. Be interesting. Oh, dude, I love that diamond right there. I think this is going to turn out to be a nice looking piece. Gus says hardly ever have a crash. Um, can't remember. Are you on a Mac? Is there a way to link all four segments to a circle fill? Oh, that would be cool. I know what you're saying there. I don't think so. But that would be very cool. Have the circle fill from here on out around all four of them connected, sort of connected together. No, there's not a way to do that other than to make that one piece and then run my satin stitches around it. That would also work. I could connect it. You wouldn't be able to have the different colors because you'd have to do union, which would create one color. Other than that, I think it would actually sort of work. Yeah, the star would be offset. That is true. You could actually cut the star out though. Let me save this one and then duplicate this one, and then we'll just mess around with what you're talking about right there. Oh, so that is the guided fill. I'm not sure if I understand the guided fill. Oh, I've used guided fill before. Oh my goodness. It's been a minute. You are right. That is the guided fill. I don't remember how to use it. Yeah, that is the guided fill. That is your guide right there. I remember how to use that. And if I remember right, it was edit. Is that right? Yeah, guideline, selection to guideline. That's what it. Yeah, I remember. And there's also pattern. Pattern would work too, right? Put fill object and target point in same group. Yep, it's been too long. I don't remember. I know that I've done pattern. I've actually used pattern more than I've used guide. Selection to mark selected elements as guidelines. So does that mean I can do this and it becomes a guideline? Oops, wrong button. But fill object and target point in same group. All right, I'm gonna play with that. So there's my fill object, and there's my. I'm going to pop that out, ain't I? You know what? Hold on a second. Just real quick. Let me save this. Let me dupe it. Save this. Save as. Play. All right. So I'm going to try this. It's been a long time. Do that. Do that. If I remember right, it doesn't even have to be in the image. It can be outside the image like this, if I remember right. And then, nope, not that one. Not that one. That one. So I've got that one and that one selected. I can't remember if I have to multi-select or not. Selection to guideline. I have to mark that as a guideline first, right? They have to be in the same group. I'm pretty sure of it. Let me pop that one out. Okay, so that one and that one are going to go in the same group. Remember when I done this before, they had to be in the same group. Pretty sure. Gus is over there pulling his hair out going, dude, it's easy. Okay. Extensions, Inkstitch params. See if it, what? Now it's giving me an error. Saying it don't know how to use it. Oh, okay. I made the wrong thing the guide. That's what it is. Get out of here. Cancel. Thank you. Okay, so now I'm back to the beginning. So let's make that. I'm only selecting that. Selection to guideline. Okay, there's my little indicator, guideline. So theoretically, that one should have it now. Dude, it's been a long time. Guided fill. There it is. Not exactly what I was shooting for, but it's kind of neat. I kind of like it. I really kind of like it. Again, not what I was shooting for. Copy, parallel offset. What's that do? Eh. So I'm guessing it's just the fact that I didn't make it long enough, right? Almost acts like it's doing the opposite of the angle that I'm making. That's perfectly straight. Till it gets to there. That's not bad, man. Let's hit apply. Do something on that other one. See what happens. Make a note in the middle. And grab that one, pop it out. What is that one? Okay. So that one and that one group. That one is going to become the guide. And then let's see what that does to that one. Oh, I should have angled it the other way. I guess I still can. What'd you do that for? Blew it up, man. I blew it up. Okay, definitely not what we want. May have to straighten it out a little bit. Boy doesn't like that. Okay. It doesn't like that at all. So we're going to go back. Let me go back to the circles. Yeah, back to the circular fill. So I'm going to leave this one. I'm actually going to test stitch this. I'm going to play around with the guided fill a little bit more. Pippa, I am actually going to play around with the guided fill a little bit more. And something else that you could also do, probably a little riskier. Let me go ahead and let me save this as the copy. I'm gonna do one more thing. Open recent. And then save as play 2. So this was another idea that I had that I don't know. You'll definitely lose the different color bits, but this might also be an option. I'm going to hide quite a bit of this. All of the outside. And the center line. And yeah, the lines. I need that one back. That one. I need that one back. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to grab a few of these and pull them up just enough to touch. Ever so slightly. And I am not sure of myself here, but this is what we're going to try. So now, those are basically touching now. So I'm going to grab each one of those. And we're going to go path union. So now it's one piece, and we still sort of have our star in there. Now we can do params center line on that, or no, circular fill on that. And considering it's pretty circular, it should look pretty circular. Like again, but again, you lose the different color. But it is still an option. Let's go back to bringing everything back up. And then we'll do another visual. Put your guideline on top of the fill object. Okay, well, yeah, we'll try that. That actually makes sense. Because you're guiding it on how you want it to stitch. Yeah, we'll try that. I'm just messing around with this real quick. We'll go back. Alright, hit close. It's not bad. Not terrible. I mean, I want the different colors, so that's a problem. But this is still another way to go about it. Okay, not terrible. Not terrible. Let's go back. Back to play. Alright, let's move that. Grab that and move that over. Ooh, that's hard to see. If I move it above where I can see it, does that make any difference? Does it mean be under it? Oh, brother. Dude, that made all the difference in the world right there. That was it. That was it. Let's grab that. We're going to pull that up right to there. Wrap that over a little more. I'm still not 100% sure that's what I want because that's cool. And just like I said a few minutes ago, I'm not 100% sure of what I even want. That doesn't help. So this is a good showcase that Inkstitch has a lot of tools. Because I forgot how to use that. Honestly, forgot how to use that. And it's just, Inkstitch is amazing. The devs that working on Inkstitch, if you ever had a problem, go to their GitHub. They will absolutely work with you. You can go there and ask for new things as well. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to be cutting the live off pretty soon, but I do want to try one more thing. I just want to make a straight line at the angle I think I want. Sorry about that. So, straight line at the angle I think I want. Well, I wasn't going to curve it like that, but Maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I should. See what it does. It's got that little bit of a curve to it. It's not bad. What if, okay, maybe if the spacing between rows is too tight, you don't really see what it's doing, but it's doing my design. I don't know. I don't know what I want. There's also a chat available through Inkscape forum on Inkstitch. That is correct. The devs are easy to get a hold of. They're easy to talk to. They're easygoing, laid back. They're great people. Um, Before I cut off here, there's also I have a group moderated by Gus and a couple others, and they're happy to answer questions. They're they're there to help. Facebook, Inkstitch Lounge will find it for you. And there is also a Reddit that is mine. Reddit, subreddit, Inkstitch. Gus is there also, but he is not as active there, I don't think. Can that be mirrored to the left-hand side? Not really. Because they're not the same. Oh, they're close to the same. You know what? I'm game. I'll try it. Delete that. We will grab this G4, duplicate it. It didn't duplicate. Why didn't you duplicate? Duplicate. There we go. Now that it's duplicated, we're going to flip it. Bang. Drag it over. Going to make it fit. I'm going to make it fit. Okay, we're pretty close to making that fit. Make that a little straighter. Grab that, pull it around. Oh, absolutely. Gus is awesome. Gus has taught me a lot and still does. As long as he's willing to come in here into an Inkstitch Live, I'm willing to learn from Gus. And everything that I learn in a live like this, and some of it he's teaching me, and some of it's he's reminding me, but nonetheless, Gus is awesome. All right, let's see. Okay, so it left the guide behind. So we'll pull that guide over. It doesn't quite fit in there. Okay, so we have that one and that one. Wrong one. That one and that one. Those two. And then we'll go in here to params. That'll give us an idea what the two sides look like. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think I'll put on a little underlay on that one. Keep it at 1.5 though. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm going to have to change the angle on that one. Fill angle. Which way? 45. One of them's right and one of them's wrong, so they're independent. I gotta go ahead and hit apply and quit. Gotta grab that one by itself. Go back to params. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. A lot of what my videos are is, especially back in the early day, it was hard to find videos, period, on Inkstitch. And a lot of times I would just throw a video out there for something that I just learned, like basically just learned today, and would just throw it out there because videos are pretty far apart, hard to find. It's a lot better now, and that was part of why I decided to make the Facebook group and the Reddit group, is just try to get as much easy help as possible. And I made the Reddit group because I know not everybody's on Facebook. Probably the ones not on Facebook are probably not on Reddit either, but you know, I try. And then there's also Inkstitch.org, there's GitHub, Inkstitch, all those things. Okay, that's better. All right. So I am actually going to leave out. Go ahead and kill the live. We're at about, I'm almost at an hour and 45. 4 o'clock in the morning comes pretty early when work purposes, real life. So I am going to call this one a done. And be sure and email me, Dale@lowtechlinux.com, that whatever you want to see or questions you might have that I can include in the next Inkstitch live. I'll be live again next Sunday, 7 o'clock-ish p.m. Eastern. So come on by again. We'll do it all over again. I thank y'all for coming in and watching me struggle, basically, on this one. Pretty much. Gus, as always, thank you for hopping on board. You're definitely a good asset for the Inkstitch community. Can't thank you enough. Can't thank you enough again for moderating that Facebook group. But I'm going to cut this one off. Get ready for another 50-hour work week or more. And